Right now, somewhere in your body, a system is running that has nothing to do with your calendar, your job, or the year on your phone. It doesn't know the date. It doesn't know you're safe. It was built for a world that vanished 11,000 years ago, and nobody ever told it the world had changed. That system is still scanning for something with teeth. You feel it more often than you'd think. The jolt when a text buzzes during a meeting. The tight chest before opening an email from your boss. The way your whole body flinches at a sudden loud noise, even in your own kitchen. None of those things can actually hurt you. Your body doesn't know that. It reacts anyway. The exact same way it would if a predator had just stepped out of the tall grass. This is not a metaphor, it's biology, and it's ancient. For most of human history, the single biggest threat to your survival wasn't a deadline or a difficult conversation. It was being eaten. Big cats, hyenas, snakes, rival groups with weapons. Your ancestors who survived long enough to reproduce were, overwhelmingly, the nervous ones. The ones who jumped first and asked questions later. Calm and relaxed doesn't pass down its genes very well when something with claws is nearby. So, evolution built you a threat detector, fast, automatic, running underneath your conscious thoughts, deep in a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. It doesn't wait for you to think things through. It reacts in milliseconds, long before the rational part of your brain even catches up. A researcher named Joseph LeDoux spent decades mapping exactly how this works. He discovered something the field now calls the low road to fear. Sensory information doesn't just travel to your thinking brain for careful analysis. A shortcut version goes straight to the amygdala first, triggering a full-body alarm before you've consciously registered what you're even looking at. You jump at the shadow before you realize it's just your coat on a hook. The fear comes first. The explanation comes after. That system doesn't distinguish between a lion and a difficult boss. It doesn't know the difference between a real physical predator and a passive-aggressive Slack message. To your amygdala, both are simply threat, and both get the same ancient response. Heart rate spikes. Muscles tense. Breathing gets shallow and fast. Blood moves away from digestion and toward your limbs, in case you need to run. You were built to survive an ambush. You're using that same hardware to survive a group chat. Here's where it gets stranger. A psychologist named Robert Sapolsky, who spent years studying stress in wild baboons, found something almost unfair about modern life. A zebra being chased by a lion experiences intense stress. And then, the moment the chase ends, its body resets almost instantly. Danger over, system off. Humans don't do that nearly as well. We can trigger that exact same lion response just by replaying an awkward conversation in our heads at 11 at night. No lion required. Just a memory and a nervous system that can't tell the difference. Why would evolution leave that flaw in the design? Because for most of human history, thinking about danger before it happened and replaying it after was actually useful. The tribe members who worried about the noise near the water source, who kept mentally rehearsing where the predators liked to hide, were the ones who avoided getting caught off guard. Anxiety wasn't a malfunction. It was a survival strategy running exactly as intended. The problem is the world moved faster than your biology could keep up with. You're not dodging lions anymore. You're dodging notifications, comparisons, deadlines, and thousands of strangers' opinions delivered straight to your pocket all day, every day. Your ancient alarm system has no idea it's supposed to stand down. So it stays half-lit all the time, treating a crowded inbox like a crowded predator zone. Watch a toddler sometime before all this gets learned. Loud noise, sudden movement, an unfamiliar face too close, too fast, and they react instantly, whole body, no hesitation. That's not a personality trait. That's the same ancient circuitry, fresh out of the factory, doing exactly what it evolved to do. You still have that circuitry. It never left. It's just gotten confused about what actually deserves the alarm. There's a strange kind of relief hidden in this. The racing heart before a presentation isn't a personal failure. It isn't proof that something is wrong with you. It's a 5 million-year-old survival tool doing its job with the only information it has, in a world it was never designed for. Next time your chest tightens over something that, rationally, can't hurt you, notice what's actually happening underneath it. That's not weakness. That's an ancient hunter-gatherer, still scanning the grass, still watching for movement, still trying in its own outdated way to keep you alive.